On April 30th, 2025, I had an extremely stupid idea. What if I went to the depot and tried to film a train with as many cameras as possible? This abomination of a video is the result of that horrible thought. As we were driving, we decided we were going to get a haircut before going to the depot, as it didn't really matter what train we caught for the camera trick to work. As we were crossing the tracks, though, train. So I quickly pulled over and managed to catch Norfolk Southern B10, a local, powered by a single C6M because of course it was. Notice the crew member leading out of the front. No trains came while we were getting haircuts, but as we were getting back to the car, one did come. An eastbound Union Pacific transfer intermodal with an AC-44 and an ACE. For some reason, we noticed that all the eastbounds were crawling. There was some sort of speed restriction on this day that only applied to the eastbounds and not the westbounds. We would find that out soon enough as we hopped in the car and went to the crossing to cross the tracks to get over to the depot side so we could start our camera messing around. And as we were doing that, we got jump scared by a westbound Norfolk Southern intermodal with a DC Gevo and a BNSF one trailing. This was pretty cool to see, as meets, especially between intermodals, are rather uncommon on this section of the Chicago line. It was even weirder to see the intermodal behind the fast one crawling along at such a slow pace, since these are pizza delivery intermodals. Once we got to the other side of the tracks, we were jump scared by another eastbound intermodal, this time a regular Norfolk Southern one, with a Dash 9 in the lead. Never thought I would see another Dash 9 leader on Norfolk Southern ever again. This one is engine 9830. It's even more rare to see a Dash 9 that isn't part of the 9900 series. This is one of the lower numbered Dash 9s that's still left on Norfolk Southern, and if I procrastinate long enough, it'll probably be rebuilt by the time I get this video out. As the tail end of that train was passing, we took the opportunity to set up our camera setup, which was literally just a folding table with all the cameras set on top of it. Here you can see all these cameras. I only got a fraction of them started before the next train arrived because it was an eastbound and they lifted the speed restriction, so it flew in at high speed. Normally I have plenty of time to set up before eastbounds come, even though they are more unexpected than westbounds, but on this day I had to turn on like 11 cameras, so yeah, that wasn't happening. I only barely got to get my camcorder recording before the train showed up. And you'll never guess what abomination was in the lead. Yep, that's right. My first CPKC painted locomotive, number 7431, one of the ex-Baffinland Railway Tier 4s. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I dislike the CPKC scheme is because I hate change, and not even because it looks bad. Frankly, I think it looks way better than the Canadian Pacific scheme. Still an absolute downgrade from the Southern Belle, but, you know, it's a pretty good scheme, all things considered, especially considering what it could have looked like. And anyways, the whole point of this video is to see different cameras' perspectives on the same train. So let's move on to the first special camera, which is my dad's phone, an Apple iPhone 13 Pro. So let's see its shot. As you can see, we accidentally pointed the phone the wrong direction and too low, so the bottom of the table is in frame. But quality speaking, this is probably the best of the alternate cameras I have, shooting in 1080p 30 FPS here, and with the ability to shoot in 1080p 60 FPS, or in 4K 30 FPS, if you change the settings. Next up is the Canon PowerShot A630. As you can see, this camera has a very low quality compared to the last one, shooting in a maximum resolution of 480p. It's even worse here because it actually shoots in a 4:3 aspect ratio, and I had to crop it into 16:9 for this video. So yeah, very poor showing from this camera, but it's old, so what do you expect? Next up is another Canon, this time a PowerShot GLPH 190IS. This camera shoots in a maximum resolution of 720p, which is significantly better, and it shoots in a 16:9 aspect ratio. However, this camcorder was mostly designed for photos, so the video is pretty lackluster, and it shoots in a really low frame rate. I think this is worse than 30 FPS. The next camera is the strangest and worst one, the webcam of a Chromebook. Usually used just to show your face while on online meetings, I'm using it to film a train today. As you can very clearly tell, the quality on this thing is abysmal. The colors are all off, the quality is crap, the camera is constantly stuttering and lagging, and of course, the worst part is the ear-rapey, awful, incredibly loud, blasted audio. I have no idea why it's so loud, and I'm pretty sure all the headphone users immediately clicked off this video. Oof. As I said, this is clearly the worst. And we're going to go ahead and now refresh ourselves on what the best camera, aka my camcorder, which is a Sony FDR AX43, looks like. Much better. It's actually smooth now. And it's in 1080p high definition. After that train passed, we had a bit of time to just wait for the next train. Judging by the Elkhart cam, we knew nothing was going to come westbound, so we knew our only hope was another eastbound, which was really annoying. The train once again jump scared us, and I managed to start most of the same cameras as last time, but I'm not going to go ahead and bore you with seeing the exact same camera quality on a much more boring train, so I'm just going to show you the two new ones. The first camera is actually the iPad I'm making this video on, an Apple iPad 9. And before you ask, why are you making this video on an iPad and not a computer like a normal person? And the reason I'm doing that is because I endlessly pace around while editing my videos and I can't really carry my PC around the room. So yeah, if you ever wondered why my videos are in such crap quality, that's why. This iPad has a pretty good video quality, although the picture quality is much better and the video is slightly blurry. I've used this iPad for filming, for rail fanning, for quite a few videos, especially the older ones, so you might remember clips that look somewhat like this. The last camera I'm going to show you in this video, and by that I mean the last one I managed to get working, is by far the worst, even worse than the Chromebook. It's a set of binoculars with a camera attached to them. Whoever thought this was a good business idea was a complete idiot, and I completely fell for it because I decided to buy it. And for some reason, it can't zoom out all the way. The lowest amount of zoom is about 8 times zoom, meaning the clip looks like this. I don't think I need to explain why this one sucks. And that was all the cameras I managed to get working. After this, I left the depot feeling rather defeated, but glad I managed to catch some good trains, including the Dash 9 and CPKC unit. And on that note, catch those units while you can, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope.